He saved UFC 300, and now they've left him behind. Justin Gaethje may have just fought his last fight, and not by choice. Justin Gaethje has long been known as a reliable, all-action fighter who steps up whenever the UFC needs him. Most recently, he answered the call to fight Max Holloway at UFC 300, an extremely high-risk matchup that wasn't necessarily in his best interest, especially since Holloway was moving up in weight and the BMF title was on the line, not the undisputed lightweight championship. Gaethje took that fight on the UFC's request, putting aside his own title ambitions to help bolster a historic card. After that loss, Gaethje expected the UFC to recognize his loyalty and sacrifice by rewarding him with a shot at the lightweight title. However, at UFC 317, it became painfully clear that wasn't the case. Instead of getting the title shot, Gaethje was sidelined as Charles Oliveira stepped in to fight Ilia Topuria for the belt. To add to the sting, Gaethje wasn't even acknowledged during the event by the UFC or the new champion. Despite being cage-side, Topuria ignored him in his post-fight interview, and the UFC prioritized other contenders like Arman Tsarukyan and Paddy Pimblett for attention and screen time. For Gaethje, who has always fought the toughest opponents and done what the UFC asked, this felt like a major betrayal, a clear sign that being a company man doesn't always lead to rewards or respect one might expect in return. If you're enjoying this update and want to stay ahead of every twist in the UFC world, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. MMA Thread brings you 3 fight updates every single day. At UFC 317, the UFC's treatment of Justin Gaethje wasn't just disappointing. It was public and humiliating. As the lightweight title fight between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira played out, Gaethje sat cage-side alongside other contenders, clearly positioned to be part of the narrative. But when the dust settled after Topuria's first-round knockout of Oliveira, Gaethje wasn't mentioned, acknowledged, or involved in any way. Instead, the UFC's cameras and later the spotlight turned to Arman Tsarukyan and Paddy Pimblett. Topuria took a shot at Tsarukyan during his post-fight interview, referencing the back injury that had pulled him from a previous title shot. Even though that jab was meant as criticism, it still indicated that Topuria saw Tsarukyan as part of the conversation. Then came the most viral and controversial moment of the night. Joe Rogan inviting number 8 ranked Pimblett into the cage for a face-off with Topuria. This unexpected stunt, which UFC President Dana White later admitted he didn't approve of, grabbed headlines, but left Gaethje standing awkwardly on the sidelines, completely excluded from the post-fight story. To make matters worse, when media asked Dana White about Gaethje's post-event comments, where Gaethje threatened to retire unless he got the next title shot, White didn't express concern or offer reassurance. Instead, he dismissed the ultimatum, saying Gaethje should just retire if he felt that way. It was a cold, matter-of-fact response from the promotion's top executive toward one of its most dependable and exciting fighters. This wasn't just a title snub. It was a public erasure. For someone like Gaethje, who has always fought top-ranked opponents and helped promote big events, the lack of respect shown at UFC 317 was glaring. It signaled that loyalty, risk-taking, and being a company man might not carry the weight fighters once believed, especially in a sport where hype, timing, and popularity often eclipse merit. This moment, captured live in front of millions, didn't just hurt Gaethje's title chances. It dealt a blow to his legacy and stand in the eyes of many fans and fellow fighters who saw how quickly the UFC shifted its attention elsewhere. In the wake of UFC 317, Justin Gaethje finds himself in one of the most uncertain positions of his career. At 36 years old, with 31 fight resumed filled with legendary battles, Gaethje has made it clear he will not fight again unless it's for the lightweight title. This firm stance puts him at odds with the UFC's current direction, especially as Ilia Topuria's attention seems to be shifting toward more marketable matchups, namely, a potential money fight with Paddy Pimblett. Gaethje has earned his place in the title picture the hard way. In 2023, he delivered a Fight of the Year contender against Rafael Fiziev, edging out a gritty decision win. Before that, he knocked out Dustin Poirier in spectacular fashion with a rare head kick, an emphatic victory over one of the division's top names. Although his momentum was halted by a brutal knockout loss to Max Holloway at UFC 300, Gaethje was still regarded as one of the top contenders thanks to his recent performances and history as a former interim champion and BMF title holder. However, the UFC's recent move suggests that Gaethje is being leapfrogged by fighters with more marketing buzz or fresher narratives. The promotional focus seems to be on younger names like Arman Tsarukyan and rising stars like Pimblett, who, while lower ranked, bring viral moments and fan engagement. That reality casts serious doubt on whether Gaethje will get the title opportunity he feels he's earned. His declaration that he won't fight unless it's for the belt leave the UFC with decision. Either give Gaethje the shot or risk losing one of the most exciting and fan-favorite fighters on the roster. But Dana White's cold reaction to Gaethje's ultimatum, telling him flatly to retire if that's how he feels, makes it clear the promotion is not inclined to bow to his demands. This standoff could result in the premature end of Gaethje's storied UFC run. If he holds his ground, and the UFC continues to sideline him, we may never see the highlight in the octagon again. For a fighter who's delivered some of the most thrilling moments in lightweight history, that would be a disappointing and anticlimactic way to close out a legendary career. In a promotion that rewards timing, marketing, and spectacle as much as skill, Gaethje's unwillingness to play the game may ultimately cost him the one thing he's still chasing: undisputed gold. Will Justin Gaethje really walk away from the UFC, or is Dana White calling his bluff? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to MMA Thread for daily updates. We got you covered morning, noon, and night.